I mean, how hard is this? I mean,
I don't know.
Seraphis is involved, so
It gets really hard, basically.
it's a non-zero number.
It's, compressed carbon.
It's at least
style.
6. It's at least 6.
At least that's-
Oh, joy. Well,
I mean,
Well,
I hope
yeah,
we're
that's
live
cool.
now.
well, it's at least showing me that we're live, saying that we've been live for 30 seconds.
Oh. Yeah, now. Oh. Mine just went live now. That's weird. All right. Dear. So yeah, hi. We're back. I'm back.
I'm back.
You're back. We also have some fronts here as well. And some disappointments.
I've never seen so much facial expression in a hockey mask.
I'm sure he'll never see this, but Kane Hodder could learn a few things from that acting right there.
Who?
He was one of the Jasons.
Got it.
Yep.
I have never watched any of the Friday the 13th.
Me neither. Or any of the Nightmare on Elm Street either. I don't like horror movies.
Me
Not for me.
either. I don't understand the fascination of, here, I want to go to be entertained by being completely disturbed for the next hour and a half or whatever.
See, I hadn't been into horror either, but then when I met Grim, she just unleashed all the horror on me. Like, starting from all the classics going up. Mainly because I'd been turned off of horror because of, and this is going to hurt some people, Event Horizon. I fucking hate that movie. I hate that movie
Supposedly
so
it's the
much.
best 40K movie out there.
I can't stand that movie.
Like, because it's a bad movie or just...
On multiple levels, it just doesn't connect to me. So I'm just constantly like, this... Like, the first time I watched it, hadn't seen it before, hadn't heard anything about it, basically just knew horror in space. So, sci-fi, that's my jam. I'll check it out. And everything about it just was so stupid. And by the way, in Australia, we got the uncut version. So if you're going to say, check out the uncut version, I've seen the uncut version. I've seen the extra stuff. That didn't help any.
I haven't watched either version. But again, I'm with Saxious on that one.
The Cypher system backer kit finished. That was cool. And then they immediately announced that they're going to be doing a new edition of Numenera. And I was like, I'm going to go broke. But I'd go more broke if I don't, do this stuff through backer kit. So it's like,
I mean, that sounds like a personal problem to me, but I have backed plenty of, quote unquote irrelevant things, so
Yeah.
I'm not really one to judge either.
Yeah, I've got a book that I'm looking at right now. I'm just going. I don't think I'm ever going to use this, and if I am, I'm just going to use it as an inspiration for something else I'll be running. So yeah, I've kind of backed away from supporting more content because I don't need any more. I've got plenty. I've got too much.
Yeah, that's not even counting the giant collection of stuff that I haven't burned through. So,
Oh god, I swear that's like my collection of the FFG Star Wars stuff. I have so much of that stuff. I'm probably never going to run the game. It's all just going to be there for like inspiration if I run a Star Wars game and something else. Because, that system. I don't like that system.
like, I don't have. It's really weird. I don't have any issues with the system conceptually, but like, I started reading the rules a few months ago, and it just like it doesn't even seem like it's a hard system, but it just did not seem very intuitive.
It's very again. So with the FFG, they've got their own dice, which is
Right.
down to the whole thing of you have a success, critical success, failure, and abysmal failure. So you've got these four variations, and that's then meant to generate the outcome of what you're doing. So you're then going like, I have a success, but it also critically failed at the same time. And as the storyteller, you then have to put that together somehow. It creates this, for me, as being more mechanically oriented, that creates a problem because I have a hard time just going like, you succeeded in this, but the backfire was you burned through your thrusters, or you hit him, but he fell backwards and now has alerted this major compound. What do you
The
do?
hyperdrive is leaking.
Exactly. It's like, well,
Actually, I think I want to say it was. I want to say it was on a stream with Brian. Maybe it was somebody else. But somebody was talking about how like there's only so many ways that you can do that failed success anyways.
Mhm.
So it's like, oh, you got a success, but it's also a failure. Oh, you were running away, but you tripped. Like, so that also tends to be a problem with that kind of a situation.
I think it was Bear who also mentioned something like that when it came to the interpretations, but I might be misremembering.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I can definitely see that as a problem. But it's like I don't have a problem like with the fantasy. Like everybody complained about the Fantasy Flight dice, but I played so many Fantasy Flight games anyways. Like just their board games that use the same kinds of mechanics. So I don't have an issue with, but I can definitely see it being a problem for a game master. And like I said, the system just does not come off very intuitively. So,
yeah.
As you said before, it probably came out as a good concept, but in practical use, doesn't work very well.
right.
Probably,
the books are gorgeous, though.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. For Fantasy Flight, they've always had very good quality books. And that's the one thing I absolutely love of the 40k books that I bought is like they are top notch when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the problem I found is just how Brian, just take off the mask and speak to us. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting here and doing nothing. And if that is your choice, then that is your choice. Because I do not speak sign language.
Look, I will absolutely give him his loyalty to the bit.
Now, that's just outrageous.
How dare you say such a thing, sir?
Yeah, but where would you put it?
No, we don't want that answer. We do not want that answer.
Dear Lord. Anyway, but yeah, so the problem I just find with it is that being more mechanically oriented, it's difficult for me to interpret this because I don't really have a baseline, and it's such a whiffy way where it's down to my arbitrary interpretation. It just opens up the book for more arguments about how I interpret things and what I then picture could happen. It's also one of the reasons why like take the game where Evil Hat, for example, where they've got Shadow Dagger, what's it called again? Daggers in the Dark, I think it's called, where it is a lot more about you roll these things and the players then make up an interpretation, and it's a heist and all these other things which are cool. I quite like these concepts. It just boils down to the buy-in is that you can't come into these games with a autistic level of we must prepare and we need these plans and like actually go through and do the entire heist. It's very much of a we go in and we kind of wing it along the way, and it's more of a storytell, and the stress of the event is what makes it fun. That's just not the crowd that I run games for. They will just sit there and go, right, we're going to spend the next 3 weeks casing out this place, finding out the patterns, seducing the local maid to draw us a map. We're then gonna get a job inside of there. We're gonna be really bad at this job. We're gonna be doing these things. We're gonna get fired. Then we're gonna blackmail this person, and we're gonna do all these other things. So when we do the thing, we don't have to roll dice because we don't want to roll dice. We'll do all the other things because we want to be really good at this. Oscar, I'm like, yeah, I get it, but that's not how this game is set up. And I was like, well, that's how we want it to be set up. Well, cool. Not gonna work.
Yeah. I also find that like just having a discussion with one of my players over the system, trying to get him to break down the fucking dice for me, because for me, trying to figure out, like, after you roll the success failure part and how, like, interpreting then how the result of that, we both came to different ideas of how like that Star Wars scenario would work, and that's kind of a problem because I'm thinking more about the original Star Wars. Oh, but I'm thinking more about about the prequels, or this person came into Star Wars with, God forbid, the sequel series or trilogy, and it's like, okay, so is a failure losing your money at a casino, like, or getting your arm cut off, or
And then also the whole
I hate sand.
Is also the question of like, what are you wanting out of the game itself? Because if I were to get into a Star Wars game these days, I would be saying, right, I'd like to point to the Mandalorian and say that's what I'd like to go for. Pseudo cowboy western, far fringes. The idea of the Empire is still having strongholds in places and conflicts between the rise of the Republic taking over, that sort of thing, while having to deal with being more in a lawless environment. Go on, Surface.
But no fucking space wizards.
No, I agree. Don't have
I
the Jedi's. Like honestly, we have so much with the Jedi's. Take them out. That's why one of the campaigns I personally enjoyed the most was when I said, right, you are playing as bounty hunters during the Clone War, but you are not allowed to be any space wizards. You are contractors, mercenaries, and you now have to decide who are you taking contracts from, because you're going to get contracts from the Hutts, Independents, Republic, Separatists. You then have to then develop relationships with these factions via the Bounty Hunter Guild, and then start progressing through and get exclusives, so that you can not have to get the guild to take their cut out of it, and you can earn more money.
There's also the syndicates as well.
Yeah.
Outside of the Hutts. Yeah, like during the Clone Wars, that is prime. That was prime time for bounty hunter activity as well. I mean, just look at the Clone Wars and how often bounty hunters turn up in that. Not to mention the pirates, hunters, fucking people. Like, yeah.
To me, that was like, okay, war breeds opportunities, especially for like privateers and war profiteers. They're going to come out in their droves, and everyone wants a piece because there are lucrative contracts. Both sides have gone, fuck inflation, print money. And some of them are going to say, listen, we can't pay you in money, but we can pay you in rights. Do you want the trading rights of this planet? Yes, we do. Here's a contract. Equally, again, I'm going to, just for a brief moment, refer to The Mandalorian, the first episode of season 1, where he is paid, where he has to argue about the currency that he's being paid in. And he does not want, Republican credits. He's like, no, I don't want that. I want
Imperial credits.
He doesn't want Imperial credits. He wants it was like he was being paid in like the calamari currency.
Yeah, calamari. Yep.
Yeah. He was arguing about which currency he wanted to be paid in, because it had a different value depending on where he was going to go. So I like this sort of thing. That to me is a lot more fun, because you have to look at resources very differently at that point, and you have to be careful about the contracts that you take. Sorry, Surface, you wanted to say something?
Oh no, I was going to kind of along those lines. Like even during the Clone Wars, some of the bounty hunters and pirates, like Hondo's, the Anaka clan, would ask to be paid in seized spice from the Republic or from the Separatists, because for them it had much higher value than their credits. So
yeah, no, absolutely. That's also one of the things that, like, if we go into like real world, like the buccaneers that would be hired by various powers would say, right, we're not paid like a set fee, we're just paid in salvaging rights. So if we go and we attack Portuguese or Spanish ships, we have the right to salvage whatever we can get off those boats, which often was really lucrative. And then, for example, take the Hutts. If you do contracts with them and they're like, hey, we're gonna make it more beneficial for you, we are going to open up a different trade market for you. You want to engage and do things like slave trading, you want to go in and like have things that are considered to be highly illegal in other sects, we'll take it off your hands. That's not a problem for us. Or equally so, you can turn around to the Republicans and or to Republic and say, right, we're going to take on this contract for you. However, we would like to have the salvaging right of whatever we get from these ships or these enemies. We can take that and sell it. And it's like, that's fine.
I think although it was never properly used, Hondo's mothership, the Saucer, had missiles, but its beam weapons were ion cannons, so it could disable other ships and seize them. Brilliant strategy, because then you can take everyone prisoner, grab the ship, and sell it off on the black market.
Mm-hmm.
Which, is definitely not something I would ever consider doing.
Oh, God, no.
You don't have to consider it if you're just going to do it.
It's like second nature to me.
Exactly. It's not even a consideration at that point.
It's like breathing.
And I just made money. It's just, I can't help it. It's like, Seraphis, stop hijacking these things. I'm like, I'm sorry. Oh, God, how did I get here? I need help. I need professional help. I can't stop this. I can't stop pirating.
Oh, comms hologram pops up. Sir, we've just captured another ship. Ah, damn it! I just can't stop.
Even when I'm not trying, I'm winning. I can't. It's a problem.
Why did I get so many ion cannons? It just makes it work.
But again, going into like Star Wars Saga and some of those systems, I love the fact that they then had separate systems of like, if you had ion cannons, you would do more damage towards droids and anything of that nature. And blasters, on the other hand, was where you want to do it against organics. Again, this is just me going, I like this sort of strategy. And again, if you then want to take someone alive, going back to the bounty hunter concept, you want to use ion cannons or stun weapons because you want to take them alive. Higher credits for that.
Hell, you could even get those guns like the Jawas had, which were technically ion weapons to stun droids, but they had a modulator in them to stun people as well.
Yeah.
Just one weapon to do two jobs.
Freaking Javas. They will steal anything that is outside civilization and then roll up to your house and go, my good sir, would you like this? Look at these wares. That's my droid. Well, he was found wandering far, far away from your house. He was 5 feet off my property, and into the wilderness he went. It's like, fine, I'll buy him back. How much are you scrounging from me now? I was like, it will be at least 12 credits. Oh, for God's sake. He was 8 last time.
Inflation sucks.
I was like, oh my good sir, we have oiled him, we have refined him. It's like, he's covered in mud. I'm sorry, I can't help like going down this, Monty Python sketch.
Nothing but the best oil from Nalhutta.
I was like, is the best oil then what is allowing you to wear these gold chains around your neck? I was like, oh, simply a small accessories handed down from generations. I just don't remember you having that last time you rolled up here about 2 weeks ago. Very convenient, isn't it? Ah, good sir. It is always convenient when we come with the best prices for our best friends.
You know what's terrible?
Go on.
This is absolutely reminding me of the dwarves in the 3.5 game. Like,
Yeah.
they are all just exactly like that. No joke. We actually have in our possession something that the Jarl thinks he had taken. We stole it, and I'm half expecting us to go up to him to negotiate with him to withdraw, and he can have this magic item back if he does. I love Jaws. I love dwarves.
I mean, when it's much easier for you to relate, I get it.
Yeah, but I'm a very tall Jawa. That's the problem.
Joy.
Sorry.
All right.
So I'm going to tell this story. It's not Star Wars related, but when Saksha's brought up Monty Python, when we're on our cruise a couple of weeks ago, we're on this tour in Spain, and basically it's like, look, here is an old city with old buildings and old churches, and we're going through, and the guy's like, yeah, and this used to be like the old quarter of the city, where the Jews lived, until the Spanish Inquisition. And I just looked at him like, man, I didn't suspect that. And he just looked at me like I was crazy. So it was very disappointing.
I did not expect the Spanish Inquisition. Who expects the Spanish Inquisition? No.
I'm not joining in on this. We'll be going for the rest of the stream.
That's very fair.
Okay, I missed. But, I mean, in his defense, he was Spanish, so I'm going to guess that English comedy, especially for a bit like the Spanish Inquisition, doesn't necessarily translate very well. But
either that or he's heard it from a bunch of Brits like a million times.
No, you can tell, like when you mention something and somebody just has that blank look on their face of, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, it was very disappointing because I made a funny joke.
Yes.
And
you needed to have been appreciated. Exactly. Yeah. No. But I mean, just speaking as the non-English speaker, not all English humor is easy to translate over to other languages. I'll take the example of the TV show known as The In-Betweeners, which so Zerafis, you know about that. I watched several episodes of it with an utterly blank face, just looking at it while my English friends were dying, absolutely dying, rolling on the floor, could not get enough. And I sat there and went, where are the jokes? This is just sad. This is sad to look at these people and how miserable their lives are and how they're ruining it for themselves. They have to self-reflect to improve. What is wrong with them? How is this comedy? This is a tragedy.
Oh, okay.
I have never seen anything more perfectly sactious than that entire discussion thread.
Now, because I'll be honest, In-Betweeners never really did it for me. I watched, I think, the first season, but it didn't connect with me, so I just didn't watch anymore. But watching the In-Betweeners with Sax's commentary over the top, oh my god, that would be the best thing in the world.
Just sitting there, like, why are they doing this? Why are they picking up on him? Is this friendship? Is bullying friendship here? If this is what you call for friendship, it is toxic, and you should really consider who you can make your friends. This is unhealthy for you. Get help. But yeah, that other ones like 40 Towers. Again, there are parts of it where I go like, okay, I kind of understand these jokes, and there are other parts where I go, why are they doing this? This is not funny. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think here. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Well, and it doesn't necessarily even have to be comedy. I remember when I was in Brazil, like we would, as missionaries, we would do like these English classes. That was mostly just like people come in. It's like, okay, we're going to teach you some basic things. Be able to sit here and practice with you, things like that. And these two sisters came every week, and they liked buying American comic books. Yeah. And so one day they asked me to translate the comic books, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, yeah, this is going to be fine. I can look at this and I can, figure out the words. And then realizing how much of language is stuff that doesn't translate. Like I can translate
like
oh,
verbatim.
right. I can translate it verbatim, but and I'm trying to think of just like a good phrase off the top of my head, which I
Yeah,
can't.
but it doesn't capture the actual meaning or the intent of what's being said.
Right.
Which is
Right.
difficult.
No, actually, I just realized I just said from the top of my head, but that doesn't necessarily translate into Portuguese, you know.
No.
So but going through and just look and even then it's like little simple sentences and I can translate it, but then I have to translate what the phrase itself means. So yeah, and then especially with comedy where it's a lot of in jokes and subtle references, things like that. Yeah, that's a completely different story. So
Anime is a good example, especially anime comedies are a great example of not only a language but a cultural differential in understanding of a joke.
mm-hmm.
One of my what's that? Oh man, that must be 90s now. Sci-fi animes, Martian Success and Nadesco. Great little anime, but full of Japanese specific comedy points, which is based on things like a double meaning of a word in Japanese, but not being a double meaning in, say, English. And like God bless the people who subtitled on the official, I think it was ADV, because they had the actual translated subtitles, and then when jokes happen, they put in brackets up above on the screen what the
words were playing on.
Yeah, what the play of the words were, so that you could get the joke in Japanese. And it's just like, oh my god, you put it on in English and then you put the subtitles on as well. So many of the jokes, they just completely abandoned.
That's why when they have to do the audio translation, they have to rewrite the entire script. So again, I don't watch anime, but from the ones I've been exposed to, there are scenes where it's supposed to be a completely thing they say, but they have to rewrite that they build up that entire scene so that it still makes sense so that you can move on, but it's not what's being actually said. Which again, it's understandable why you have to do it because, well,
but it's not just anime as well. I mean, it can be live action.
Absolutely.
Translating any kind of a story. Again, there are cultural touchstones. There are.
Tell me what Americans did to Mad Max again.
Well,
I don't know.
Still there.
I thought they just brought it over.
Oh, you haven't heard about the dubs that originally happened with it?
I have not.
Okay, well, Mad Max 2, or The Road Warrior, that had a dub done because the Australian accent wasn't understandable by Americans, supposedly. Maybe you just had retarded test audiences, but whatever.
Look, it's very difficult to understand imaginary language.
I'll fucking cut you.
No, you won't.
I mean, I'm trying to see here because there was one on Netflix, for example. In English, it is known as Warrior, but it is a Danish TV show about a former soldier who has to go undercover into a biker gang, and I watched that in Danish with the English subtitles. So sort of, again, I haven't spoken or interacted in Danish for like it's approaching to like a decade and a half now, if not a bit more. So I'm a
You
bit
don't-
rusty on things.
You don't have family or friends that you still talk to?
I do, but we do in English. Because I've lived abroad since I was 12, and I'm 33 now.
Oh,
So
interesting.
English it has moved in and become the dominant language for me. I can hold a conversation in Danish. I do not have an accent when I speak in Danish. That's fine. Writing is horrible for me in Danish because I have the same grammatical competency as an 8-year-old, and my vocabulary is just as bad when I speak Danish, which means I often have to defer into English words, which in Denmark is a weird thing because it's a part of a subculture of Danes who does not want to be Danish. And I really want to be Danish, but I'm like, I literally I can't speak my own language at certain points, so I had to watch it, understanding the majority, and occasionally have to defer over to the English ones for the words I didn't understand. And I quickly realized the translations of it was the best, but there were just certain things that you couldn't translate, which was hilarious because I realized, like, let me take. So we're all aware of like Navy SEALs and what the Navy SEALs are. Well, in Denmark, we don't call them Navy SEALs; we call them frogs. You are a frog if you are the equivalent to a Navy SEAL. You are amphibious, and that's how we perceived it. But it was just hilarious watching someone being thrown into water and they shouted, "Oh, you fucking frog!" in Danish, and in English it was like, "Come on, you seal!" I'm like, there is just no. That is the best translation you could do, but that is the direct one is just you calling them a frog man, which would have been mistaken for Frenchman at that point, for a non-Danish speaker.
But we do call them frogmen.
Yeah, French, yeah, absolutely.
No. Like seals are also called frogmen.
Did not know that. I
Yep.
thought it was just seals.
No, seal. Well, seal is the team designation, but no, like because it actually goes back to older times. Because seals are technically very recent, Vietnam-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Anyway, but yeah, the quote unquote slang term is technically frogman.
Okay.
So, anyways, look at us learning languages.
There we are. Show up for the bullshit, stay for the education.
Exactly. But no, I actually am somewhat mind blown that that with as thick as your accent is, Danish is almost your second language.
Yeah. Mind you, I used to have a much worse accent.
No, I'm not complaining about it.
No, I'm just saying, like, it has actually it's lost how heavy it was, because I used to talk like this as though I am constantly out of breath, because this is how Danes enunciate their words. Which, yeah, you can almost hear the difference when I speak there. For God's sake, take the mask off and just communicate.
Look, Jason, we've already learned that Saxius has no sense of humor. So just take the mask off and join the conversation like a normal human being so you can self-reflect and figure out where you went wrong in life.
Contribute to this stream. Be normal. Get help.
He can do that tomorrow.
Okay.
Because it'll be the 13th.
Oh, yeah, right.
But it won't be Friday.
You win some, you lose some.
Anyhow.
So much I wanted to say.
Well, the only one stopping you was yourself.
No, I mean it no. Method acting.
I am not an actor. I cannot say that I can relate, but very well.
No, that's all sticky.
No. You meant to turn your camera off and then say that.
Plus, making the
I don't want him to.
Are y'all
noise.
sure you wanted me to take the mask off?
I was gonna say I don't want him to take. I don't want him to turn his camera off and then start talking about sticky things.
Yeah, but you got to include the. That's sticky.
That's what I don't want.
Well, it's
Well, we've
sticky
been-
and sweet, not sticky and salty.
I
Yeah, now who's talking?
no, I wanted to say so. You've been having a lot of pineapple, I see.
No, I mean, when y'all are talking, it's funny about languages. And poor Jason is like, and his interpretation is, I don't even have a language.
Well, you do have a language, as Jason. It's called violence. It's a universal one that everyone understands.
Well, but he's not violent within him, in and of himself.
No, it all stems from his mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like that, we've got Dr. Freud back in the house. Now, please, lay down on my sofa.
That would be pretty funny, actually.
So, Jason, Mr.
And Bryant Gurr is over here saying that Saxius doesn't have a sense of humor. Come on now.
My sense of humor is deadpan, very obvious. I would like to think they're obvious jokes, but like very sort of like deadpan, like here's the joke, take it or
I
leave
don't
it.
know. I don't know. Having Jason sitting down on a psychiatrist or laying down on a psychiatrist's couch talking about his mother. I mean, that's pretty fucking hilarious, actually.
Okay.
Just saying.
Game
Fair
Masters,
enough.
Brian,
Yeah.
there's an anime called Irresponsible Captain Tyler. Find the original TV series and watch it.
Okay.
But why?
That statement just, but why? This is like I don't even know what to say to that. But why? Okay.
I mean, it's a legitimate question.
No, listen. The why question is always a legitimate question. It's just how often it gets asked.
Let me put it this way. The show is technically inspired to be, well, probably conceived to be a parody of Space Battleship Yamato. Like so many things that followed were, right? However, when they started developing the show, I think a lot of was taken,
Okay.
and they came up with a few weird ideas. One of them being that the Marine complement aboard the ship should include fictitious characters. One of them is Jason.
Oh.
There's a brilliant recurring joke that he can't work on Fridays. He constantly is in like a leather jacket. He always has either a machete or a chainsaw. I think he had an axe once, but mainly it's a machete or a chainsaw. And every time there's an accident aboard the ship, everyone turns to him first. Like he was responsible.
Wow.
And one of the best things that when they get captured by the aliens, they come up with a brilliant idea to fake someone being sick. And for some reason they choose Jason, and so he starts having weird convulsions and things like that, and he's throwing himself about. And they're like, "Oh no, it's his allergies. It's the 13th. We've got to get him to the sick bay. You've got to let us out."
Huh.
And there's a kind of blink and you'll miss it, but there's one episode where he's in Medibay, the medical bay,
Mhm.
talking with the doctor, and the doctor's like, "So do you think it was your mother then?" And he's like, and like, yeah, there's
That's
so
funny.
many recurring jokes of Jason throughout the show. It's yeah. But the show's just great in general. You probably have to pirate it to get it though.
And there he goes again.
What? Hey, it's
You
not
and your-
my fault people don't want to preserve good anime. I know you want to preserve shit.
No, I just meant like you went back to piracy once again. You
Oh,
just
well.
can't stop yourself.
No.
My captain, we've pirated another 10 terabytes worth of information. What is it? Junk. Brilliant.
Cats.
Exactly.
Cat videos.
I'm going to preserve this crap even if it kills me because god damn it, something deserves to survive.
The internet should
Does
remain
it though?
Well, okay, let me put it this way. The good stuff deserves to be preserved. The recurring schlop of, in this particular case, anime that gets preserved over stuff that's actually good and gets left behind and forgotten is absolutely bullshit.
Free.
But remember that stuff, the stuff that isn't getting translated, is the stuff that didn't do well in Japan in the first place.
I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm talking about stuff that's already been translated, already released. Stuff that happened. And then, like, for example, here, right? Things like Tenchi Muyo, hell, Irresponsible Captain Tyler.
Yurosoka Doji.
Huh?
Yurosoka Doji.
What's that?
Don't look it up.
Oh, wait, is that the
Yeah.
with
He
the
just said don't look it up.
ending and the tentacles?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, no, I do know that one. Mild,
That's
really.
an old one. That's a really old one.
Yeah, but it's mild. Come on. I mean, in my opinion, that's on par with like Demon City Shinjuku and you know that kind of stuff. I'm old school. What can I say?
I'm just old.
Yes,
Yeah, me too.
but you can't help that. Ah, dear. Yes, Legend of the Overfiend. Yep. Ugh.
I am going to agree that yes, some anime should not be made.
Yes, but some should be preserved, and I don't understand why others. Why?
Well, but it happens everywhere. It's movie, it's books, it's TV shows, it's like that's one of the new things that's kind of a problem is I'll just use Disney as an example because the Fat Electrician did a video about it. Like they made a movie, they released it, so it's already done, it already exists, but by essentially and it was made like a decade ago, but now by taking it off of the streaming services and making it unavailable anywhere, they can now write it off as a loss. It's like, nope, this doesn't exist anymore. It's like, but it does exist.
I know somewhere where it exists.
Well, no, but I mean, but that's the point, is that, like in the, we'll call it the normal methods of acquisition, it should be available.
In Australia, that is the normal method of acquisition.
Well, but go back to going back to role playing games, like the D6 Star Wars. Like at this point, okay, is it technically piracy to go find PDFs of D6 Star Wars? Absolutely. But how else is it going? Like, I mean, you can't go buy it. You can't give anybody any money for it. Maybe you can find, a secondhand copy somewhere. So yeah, I don't know. I don't feel any compulsion of downloading copies of stuff that they've intentionally taken out of the market.
Yeah. It's a little bit easier for me because they take so many stuff off of our market that, thanks to Australian law, means that it no longer is protected by copyright. So fuck off. It's technically not piracy if it's not protected.
Well, no, but that's the thing, is it is protected. Like copyright law, it is it at least life of the creator plus 50 years. At least.
Okay, little loophole in the Australian consumer group is that if the product is not made available in Australia, it is therefore not protected by international copyright in Australia. So, if they don't make it available in Australia, I'm technically not pirating it. So,
interesting.
Every time Crunchyroll, aka Sony, decides to be a cunt and not give us, a tenth of the fucking library that US Crunchyroll has, well, that's their loss on the market. So, and I swear to God, if they show us another fucking isekai, fucking isekai.
I still don't understand what that is.
Basically, it's usually the concept is someone from the real world gets thrown into like a fantasy world or something, and then because of like their knowledge.
Sword Art Online.
Yes.
Okay, I understand now.
It's basically that. So yeah, it's. Well, I don't know why this just came into my head, but Tron, also a good example of isekai.
Sure. No, I like, a quote unquote fish out of water situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it now.
But like, I swear anime is currently flooded with it, and I just want to eat a gun. Fuck. I hate it so much.
In reality, this is what AI is being used for.
What, creating more schlop?
Yes.
I hate the slop. I'm so sick of that shit.
Sick of what?
Like
anime schlop.
Yeah, essentially the anime shovelware, the new shovelware, basically. Like, do you remember when like Steam was being overrun by just like asset flip Unity games?
Yeah.
Basically, similar kind of thing is happening in anime, where it's just like low effort production type stuff. Is just
we're seeing the exact same thing happening on like Drive Through RPG.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, people just. I mean, there's one guy that's uploading like 3 or 4 different adventures a day that have all been written by. It looks like Chat GPT, easy, and yeah,
Fucking hell.
I, I'm not opposed to the idea that you can use AI to help you with doing some of the writing, but at the end of the day, you can put a lot more effort into it by using it as a smarter tool to help with the writing rather than just go make me an adventure based around this, and then just have like spend your free was like 5 or 10 prompts to expand upon,
right,
and then just like go, hey, go upload that, done.
right.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I started turning away from even using like the AI art generator stuff, because it's like great example. On Facebook, there's a Aussie page that I follow, and like basically it's a Australian 80s and 90s nostalgia page. But they've recently started uploading like these same kind of photorealistic AI pictures with a guy holding a sign, and it's meant to be like, oh, Australia, blah 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 blah. Always the same kind of thing, always the same kind of message, but like a different character, a different person
Right.
each time, but same pose, same vibe coming from it. And it's just like people got to stop with the AI, man.
Yeah, I mean, I had Midjourney for a while, and well, I'll say for a while, for about 3 months, 3-4 months back when it first came out, and it was fun to play with, but it just, I don't know, it just, I slowly lost interest in it, well, I mean, not slowly, I guess, I just kind of lost interest in it and stopped, because a lot of the stuff that I wanted to generate just would start, it all started looking the same. And I don't know, I just kind of started shying away from it. I mean, I would use it for graphical pop-ups and stuff in some of the videos that I would put together, but I don't know, just didn't care for it.
At the moment, I'm using ChatGPT, but that's primarily for when I just need like the rough ideas, or if I need to make a quick handout for like words or a report. Because in my 40k game, they've got an NPC that goes around to all the planets and basically looks like how well are these planets performing. I've already done the role, so I just give the prompt of like, this planet is performing with this, and this, and these are the next steps for it. So it just takes that single paragraph and makes it into a consistent report I can then give to the players and go, here's how that's going. To give them a bit of like lore and the whole idea of like they actually have reports coming to it. Go on.
Question. Have you thought about using Chat GPT to come up with lines for any Adeptus Mechanicus?
I've used it for names and ship names.
Okay.
So I've used it a little bit for it, but not to the full extent on that. Why? Have you got any in mind?
Oh, no, it just because, the Adeptus Mechanicus are kind of, cyborg people with AI brains and stuff, and it's like, that'd be perfect.
The irony there, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the recent game I actually had, because the player who started out being the seneschal, because the rogue trader player, real life happened with him, and he's having to go on a break because health. So the player who was then the seneschal went, well, I was meant to be the seneschal for the rogue trader, so I'd like to retire my character and then play the engines. I'm like, that's fine. I'm gonna have the seneschal be the NPC in the background that does things for the players, and it's a way for me to then play and engage with the players. And I used him to basically go, so given that the recent endeavor was very successful thanks to the engines here, how do I give him compliments? Like he just straight up just asked like some of the other players, like, do I give him a bottle of wine? Do I give him flowers? Like, how does it work with the mechanicus? Like, how do you say thank
I
you?
like
to
your
them?
eyes. I must
would be
have them for my collection.
See, the fun bit would be that the engine seal still has his human eyes. So it'd be like, you like my eyes? Oh my god, I must get rid of them. Get the spoon.
Right? That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Well, even funnier is that his underlings, because I rolled for like random events, stumbled across a hidden compartment that had like bionic implants. To which the agency immediately went, who else knows about this? I'm like, it's just the three of us. To which they went, good. I shall now confiscate all of these unorthodox things that you have found. And I was like, what? He wants all the good shit for himself. Mind you, he's also been trying to convince some of the other players, like, you don't need your arms, do you? I'm like, what do you mean by that? We can improve you. Don't like where this is going.
We have the technology.
Yeah, very much do. Oh. Yeah.
Well, it's been good to get back into doing these again.
No. We won't
I mean,
skip
you
more
kept
like
doing them the whole last month, anyways. It's
Yeah,
like
no,
you didn't
but
even notice I was gone.
Who are you again?
Exactly.
no one of consequence. Don't worry about it. I'll just keep reappearing. Like you know. I'm not gonna finish that sentence. Anyway, taking it back to games. My group yesterday, they had to basically go. You have to do some deep exploration. It means that you have to send out signals, read the signals, figure out what it is, and they were able to find it was like 3 or 4 different sites that they could go and explore. I didn't correct anything at the time because I didn't spot it, but I have now realized that they were taking notes and putting the notes at the wrong planets on the map I gave them. So it's just like I've sent out messages because like I know you guys would, your characters are smart enough not to get the planets mixed around. Funny as that is, you wouldn't do that. And they had a very clear reason why they've picked the system that they're going to, because they're building a highway across a specific part of the space. And they're going to show up, and it's going to be like a absolute metric ton of asteroids for them to mine and a single planet. And that planet's going to have some absolute horrors on it. Terrifying horrors. And they've sent their allies out on to some other planets, which may or may not go very well.
It won't.
Because, well, it depends. One of them will have an alien species on them, where they're going to be like, well, you don't like us, but you're not shooting first. And we're not here to conquer you, but we're just here to serve you the paperwork that says that you now belong to this rogue trader dynasty, and you're going to be subjugated soon. So thank you very much for your presentation, but you will soon become slaves. And I think the other one, let me just double check here. I should still be logged in. Yes, I am. Oryx, Vinderix. Let me just go there. So that's the one with that. Let me just check the other one here. That's IT550. Oh, that's going to be hilarious. Another one is going to be, hey, we found a planet. there are aliens on board it who literally believes that their entire purpose in life is to be the Imperium slaves, and they want to return. It's like, okay, that's interesting. And there's another ice planet where there are like entrenched aliens who keeps on shouting hibbity hobbity, get off my property.
Okay.
They're like, we've tried to tell them you belong to us now. They have fired planet to space missiles at us, so we don't want to engage with them. It's like, okay. So we've got like half of a system that we can take, with another planet literally being a planet of bogs and toxic atmosphere with frog-like people going, we want to serve you, but we can only live in toxic environments. It's like, brilliant. And the other planet's complete ice where they shout, fuck off, we don't like you.
Is shouting vulgarities at them considered a toxic environment?
Apparently not.
Oh well.
So yeah, so that's what they're gonna have there. So, and another one's gonna have. We're all familiar. So they have a group. They're gonna have the NPCs are gonna be the group of aliens that are effectively they look like the Illithids or Mind Flayers, except they've gone down the route of they are the Tau with the files or the serial number filed off, meaning they have mechs and battle suits and cool shit. Because, yeah.
Your frog people, could you like put VR units on their head that connect them straight to like 4chan? Would that be a toxic environment enough for them?
Oh, they would thrive in that. They would become moderators.
They would become moderators. That's great.
Yeah. So that's what's in there. But again, like it's just these are just random things I roll up, and I then sort of see like, okay, you've got aliens. This place is clearly not possible to be inhabited by humans. Throw in some ideas with ChatGPT. It comes back with the idea of like a servitile, amphibious frog-like creature that lives in this toxic environment. I'm like, I quite like that. Let's take that. Let's build the entire thing around it. That they were colonized. They had the Imperial Creed, and they literally now just believe that like when they are born, they must be branded so that they are, servants, and they've not been corrected, and they've outlived the humans. Nice. It's late. I see.
No, you've got like 20 minutes.
No, that's okay. I can eat that up. On the plus side, the players were given a bunch of like private notes or messages. One of them was from one of their NPCs who was just told to, because he's a pirate and a smuggler, to go and babysit caravans for 3 months. He sent out a message going, "My people are bored. Can I do something?" And I was actually expecting the players to go, "We'll get back to you in a bit." Upon which he would have left. He would have straight up have left and disappeared. But they've actually turned around and gone, "Fine, you can come with us into the deep dark galaxy." To which he went, "Sounds like profits," and off he's gone. So he's met up with them. So it's going to be interesting because he's going to be approaching colonization very differently. Like going, do these planets really need all this like additional treasure that they've got? It serves no purpose.
Look, they don't need that Eldari ruined site. Why don't we just dig it up, bring it aboard? It's fine. We'll get rid of it for them.
They've encountered 2 Eldari sites and they've done nothing with it. Yes, but listen, I'm going to one-up you. Are you ready? They had a fight with 3 Eldari ships. Now, their roles were just ridiculous. They were able to break through the ghost protocols and actually see them and hit them with their weapons, so they're able to destroy 2 of the 3 ships. Again, ridiculous rolls. The fight could have gone one of 2 ways. One, they never saw them and they would be continuously blasted because Eldars have got lasers that ignores their armor and literally it just fucks with them. Would have been horrifying if that, and that's how I kind of hoped that it would have gone, because that would have been scary. It didn't go that way. They nailed them down. They chased right after them and just went, "Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You've got no armor and you've got no void shields. Have some Imperial, have some shots." They've gone through the ruins.
Imperial broadside.
Exactly. They've gone through the ruins, to which the tech priests have gone, "I found these gems," aka soul stones. And the players have all now passed their rolls, and they're like, "We have soul stones on board our ship." But wait, it gets better. The Astrotelepathica, or the astropath of the group, took an elite class, which means that she is technically a secret agent of the Inquisition. Actually, they told me this in secret. It was agreed upon this, and they were told they have to do regular reports to the Inquisition. Makes sense. That's the bare minimum. And they've just happened to neglect this in their last report. They've also happened to neglect a bunch of other things that the Inquisition, because the Inquisition has been summoned to come over to this planet where the players have removed all the leadership to sort that out. So they're going to be learning some interesting things from there. The players then want to hand over the prisoners and the Eldari stones to the Inquisition. The Eldari who survived is running off to his captain, who's going to be coming back to the players and going, "Right, we have some options here. You have some things that needs to be returned to me, or we're going to have a problem." And if the players go, "Well, it looks like there's going to be a problem," it's like, "Cool. Catch you on the flip side, you motherfucker." And this is going to be surprise attack, surprise attack, surprise attack, and then that will be it. It'll be interesting. Because they've got 25 stones. And for those of you who don't know, the Eldar, or Space Elves in Warhammer, will kill 1 billion humans for 1 stone.
I mean, if they hadn't have summoned Slanesh, then they wouldn't need the soul stones anyway. So this is really on them.
Well,
that just covers 1/4 of the Chaos Gods.
it's the best quarter.
It's the best quarter.
You give some, you take some. It's a win-win.
Right. It may be only one of the 4 major gods of chaos, but it's also the only one that directly consumes the souls of the Eldar.
Yeah. Again, I failed.
And
to
that's
see problems
again
here.
purely on them.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
it's what happens when your entire species spends so long just fucking itself into extinction.
And it's
Literally.
so where it gets even funnier is the Drukhari, or the Dark Eldar, are the ones who have stayed true to how the Eldar actually was when all this went down. And the Eldari were the weirdos who were like, "Oh no, a prophecy is happening. We must leave our lands." Like, they were considered absolute freaking freaks by their own people. So them going into self-exile was just the rest of the civilization going, "Good grief, we're finally rid of them. Come on, let's have some more."
Just how far can this spiky thing go in you?
Exactly. So the players are going to be they're dealing with a Corsair who is offering his services to a proper like Eldari fleet by basically raiding human civilizations, and he's basically going, "Well, can't have 25 souls just be lost to humans. That's not going to be good." So they're going to try and do a surprise visitation to their ship. Because yeah, at that point, like, why would you ever have diplomacy with the humans? You hold 25 hostages.
I barely have diplomacy with humans at this point.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. Filthy Monkai.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. So we'll, I will cross that bridge when we get there. That'll be fun. It'll be hilarious. For me.
And to me, I look forward to the stories.
Same, yeah, same. It'll be good. The current planet that they're going to go and visit, it's a desert planet where there are two factions. One is the humans, who are just like, it's effectively doomed. Just like, hey, we live in the desert, we have got our sanctified places. Water is a holy thing to us because there is water that is stored underground that is not corrupted, that we can drink, and it's sacred. So you must return all fluids to the water when you can. And then there are the open waters, who has been corrupted by the warp, meaning if you drink from it, you have eternal thirst, and you always need to drink, but you will never satiate yourself. You turn into an abomination that when you touch someone else, you drain them of their fluids. Problem
Now,
is,
when you say touch someone else and drain them of their fluids, I beat you to it, Brian.
listen,
Is
the
this in
desert
a
is
Lily
vast.
Phillips kind of way?
You're all a bunch of degenerates.
I'm not hiding it.
I'm not hiding it.
I have said it several times. Slanesh is my favorite goddess. God, that.
They are your favorite god.
They're all of them are my favorite god. So yeah, so that's what they're going to be dealing with. But there are then psychic kings amongst these unquenched things who have got like a lot of like things that will be involving around psychic powers and so on and so on. So if you want to go down there and acquire some really cool artifacts, you got to be willing to take some risks and lose some people.
I'm always willing to lose some people.
It is a sacrifice I am willing to make. To quote a certain Lord Farquhar. So I'm looking forward to that because it's again they've got their pirate with them who's going to look at it and go, oh, I've heard tales of these creatures or this phenomena, and usually means that there are psychic kings amongst them, and they usually have gifts of potency. But we wouldn't want to go down there, would we? We don't need such powerful psychic capabilities. That would be bad, isn't it? Just, come on, say yes, you want it.
Sure.
So that's him, me using him to like plot hook the players down there of being greedy.
I also like calling it the Zap Brannigan approach, sending waves and waves of my own men until they've reached their kill limit.
No dear. Yeah. I mean, I've also introduced an NPC rogue trader that's going to enter in to this game, who's gone the opposite direction of the players. The players are very colonization, humanitarian, Starfleet from Star Trek. This other guy is very much like, no, we've gone full 40k war. We've got a grand battle cruiser, several cruisers to support us, and our entire concept is when we take a planet, we subjugate it hard, and we know where they belong. And if there is resistance, we remove them. Exactly. That's they're going to come in and they're going straight into the big fights, make friends with the local navy, come back out and basically go, hey, we're friends with we've done what government usually does. We just have a monopoly on violence. We've got guns, lots of guns.
I say being like colonizing and making friends with everyone, that doesn't sound like your players are playing 40k anyways.
But that's a part of the appeal for them. They don't want to be the brutal 40k. They would very much like to be the characters that comes in to make a difference.
No, and I understand that, but then why not play something like Star Trek?
Because we are using the setting of 40K, where they effectively, a number of them wants to feel that they are doing that, leaving a place that is better for the future and so on. That's a part of what they would like to sort of experience and play into, which is fine. It's going to be contrasted by NPCs who are going to do what the setting would normally do, in sense of cluster bomb this place, rebuild it, and throw down 500 million people. 25% of them will survive. The rest of those survivors, they will make this place function.
I was gonna say, because like, if you wanted to leave it better, I mean, that's why you purge the heretic, cleanse the Xenos, and what's the
Kill the mutant.
Yeah, and kill the mutant. I mean,
yeah.
That like just do that, and absolutely you leave it for a better place for everyone else.
Oh, the players have definitely done that approach as well. They did encounter an alien species that was manipulating humans and corrupting them in their belief and understanding of what humanity is meant to be. So they just went down and went, right, Imperial dogma, no mercy, mow them down, leave nothing behind. Judiciously apply flamers, bolter guns, and last weaponry. Not leaving anyone standing. And anyone that was found to basically still have the idea of like, oh no, but they were doing good. It's like, no argument, just against the wall. Just we're not here to save you. You're beyond saving, and dealing with the aliens is a faux pas. So they've done that, but they've also done the opposite, where they've met humans who stood against chaos infestations. They've stood up against brutal systems and remained true to what it means to be human. And they've said, right, well, these are the people we need to uplift. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, but they like to make the approach of Starfleet ideas of leave a better future for them. But they're rogue traders. Go on.
You know what would be funny?
Go on.
If like going into this next zone, right? Mm-hmm. They came across a group of like third, fourth succession chapter Space Marines who like have been exiled, but like they're still kind of loyal, or they're still loyal to the Emperor and the Imperium, but because of heresy allegations, they're just out here, right? And your guys are like take them aboard and like use them as the shock troopers in any further problems that they have going forward. So like, you come across another unruly world and they're just like, haha, what are you going to do against us? Them.
I'm always a bit wary of introducing Space Marines because they are just something else. Because if I were to use them, I would use my Death Watch rulebook for making those characters. And I've already told my players, if you encounter people that has the Space Marine trait, they are going to be used via the Death Watch book. Not if it's a Chaos one, it's still Death Watch that I'm going to be using. Because Black Crusade do not do Space Marines justice the way that they should be. So I'll use the proper one that gives them all the buffs, makes them incredibly unfair, and do not care about your player agency because you are going to be mowed down. And there are plans. I have listed out about 50 Chaos Space Marines that could show up if the players go to a certain place and does certain things. Then they can encounter them. And it is not going to be pretty. Because even in their current standing, with all the awesome gear that they have, Space Marines will just trump them. They will trump them. They will trump them hard. There's really no in between for that.
Man, could you imagine if they found a world that was like had chaos taint to it and a chaos cult, and there was just one Chaos Space Marine leading that group?
I can, because I have a planet like that in this place, but it's being led by a Magus of the Dark Mechanicus who focuses on biology and worships Baba Nurgle. And he has supporters of about 50 Chaos Space Marines who are undivided, who basically is going like, we would like to extract a shit ton of resources from this place because we'd like to go over to the Badab sector and present all of our loot there to hire a shit ton of screaming insane people to come back over here and just roll through this place. The players have already seen warnings of this. They have come across proper like big cruisers that were stopped not by the Imperium, but because there are so many aliens in this sector who all saw the Chaos Space Marines and went, get them. Like this, they came in and was like, we're gonna do a crusade here, and all the aliens was like, no, you're fucking not, because we're gonna get you first. So the campaign has a lot of like, you have to deal with the alien, and even like chaos is like, we have to deal with the alien before we can deal with the Imperium. And don't worry, there are Necrons as well. I have a Necron Tomb World. I am not leaving this out. The players will be truly, wonderfully fucked when they encounter this.
Just a tomb world of just like lots and lots of pariahs and flayed ones.
There is going to be a contingent of flayed ones, do not get me wrong. But it's going to be a lot of like it's going to be a few necrotechs doing sort of like experimentations, because recently orcs came into that region and they're like, how can we work with these things? They seem to be enjoying the experimentations, and there are so many of them. Scarabs, go back into the ether. We need more minerals from their fleet that they've so generously donated.
I would love to see like the Necron analyst, like, high ranking one, just going over the data and trying to figure out why, when analyzing the orc, why is red faster? And also, why does that work?
It is exactly like just like these like rows upon rows of data, and then like the continuous question of like, how are they a fungi? How does this concept work? Can the fungi be used to create our own bodies in return? If yes, how do we harvest this? And why is violence needed?
Yes.
Yes. Go.
So, have you ever taken any of the ideas from fantasy and thrown them into the 40K?
Which ideas is it? That's,
almost anything. I mean, like, of course, I mean, fantasy obviously was very magic heavy.
Yeah.
Not necessarily using the magic per se, but possibly using the magic as technology.
Oh, in that sense, I have not knowingly done something similar. I've introduced an alien race who makes use of their psychic powers to basically control and operate their own technology. So, like, it will be the Illithid. Like the Illithids having like mind rods, extensions powers.
Right.
They've got warp monoliths, so they don't need Geller fields because they just enter the warp. They do sacrifices to hide the people that they need to protect, and the rest of the ship is then run by clones, and clones do not have souls, which means that they are basically a blank slate flying through the warp, making them very difficult to find, especially by demons. So I've done something of that nature. Yeah.
Okay, so completely unrelated.
Yeah.
And I think Necrons would be really the only group that could actually do this.
Yeah.
What do you think 40K would look like if Necrons went back in time to fantasy?
So that would be basically the Tomb Kings if we had to pick a faction, assuming that they don't come back as like the metal skeletons.
Well, no, I mean, like, okay, so the Necrons go back to fantasy and then progress from there. And then where is 40K at that point? What
Oh,
what
that's
does the
interesting.
landscape of 40K look like from that vantage point?
Oh, I really
So-
don't know. That's a.
I can answer this question. Your proposal is implausible because technically the fantasy world is a world within the 40K universe that is just isolated by warp storms and cannot be reached by the outside.
Really? I guess I was always under the impression that fantasy, like like while they shared the universe, I always was under the impression that fantasy took place like eons
Before.
before 40K.
Well, that's.
Nope.
I'm of the same mind as Brian. I thought it was the.
I didn't know that.
I think they've moved away from it in the last 20 years, but at least early on, that was their explanation.
Right.
Because also, don't forget that the Eldar, the Squats, the Orcs, all of those races exist as they are, essentially because they were given no budget. So they're like, oh, we have these
yeah.
models. Let's just give this elf a ray gun. Yay!
Right.
And so that's why they have all of the fantasy equivalents. But yeah, technically, the only explanation I have ever heard is that the world is coterminous with the 40K
Gotcha.
universe.
I see this, folks. This is why you tune in. You learn something new. At least I did.
It's because I am a vault of worthless knowledge.
I only thought I was Game Masters.
I only thought I was Game Master.
Well,
Dave Apprentice. did
I'm
worse.
Game Jack of all trades.
Game Jack of all trades.
well, I'll see where this game then goes from there. Because again, there's a lot of politicking, and it's been revealed to the player navigator that because there's 4 navigator houses in this system, it's split down the center that they're at war with one another, and he's been warned politely that the faction that he is neutrally engaging with are going to be making a move against the other side, but they don't want his neutrality to be compromised. So all interactions has to be done via official trade methods. But he is going to be given a heads up to distance himself from them for when they're making their move. Because effectively what they are going to do is now this sector has been cut off for 200 years, which means 200 years of taxes hasn't been paid, which is naughty. Can't have that. We will have taxation without representation here. You absolute shingles.
It's called a tithe.
I know it's a tithe. My point is, it's 200 years without tithes. So this other faction is basically going to be sending out a message to the opposing faction, basically
A lot of back pay.
yeah. Not only are the people who are technically in charge of this sector, they've never approached you in this full year about back paying their duties or their tithes, but we can not only pay it back, but we can then ensure that there's a progressive payback plan to ensure that this is done. But we will only do that if you take these people and yeetus deletus them out of this system. Get rid of them.
Right.
Because they can't officially declare war against them because one of the navigators are intertwined with the Imperial Navy, meaning if they take war against the Imperial Navy, they take war against the Imperium, which is a big no-no. So they're just going to basically highlight all of their incompetencies and basically go, they have not been able to pay you back. We can. We will only do that if you replace these ones with someone that will be more lenient towards us and our traditions.
Sounds reasonable.
It's very reasonable. It's even fair. You know where this is going to be a problem? The other rogue trader has come in, and they've come in with a house who is like, we can't have that. we need someone of magisterial and high importance to be in charge, and these people have done such a good job. So we have two options. We either sideline them and they have no tarnishment for their name, or there's a problem. Yep.
Well, you will have to keep us apprised.
I will absolutely keep you apprised because I'm enjoying this campaign. I'm enjoying it with the players, as you can probably tell. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next lot of shenanigans that they're going to be doing. Anyway, have I eaten up the 20 minutes that I've been allotted?
27 minutes.
There you are. You giveth and I taketh.
I mean, unless anyone else had anything that they want to say before we end the show.
Prairie dog.
That's a good final word. Well, on that note,
hold on.
Yep.
Because I'm going to start promoting this a little bit more. Go check out at Reading Wikis here on YouTube. And if you are interested, give that a subscribe. Because I'm having fun with it, but it is growing a little bit slower than I would like.
And it's no AI.
It is not AI. It's my beautiful face. So, anyways.
Well, I mean, I think we'd all prefer to have Peanut Gallery to look at, but you know.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But no, it's fun. So anyhow,
just you talking instead of you, like the picture of you. It's just like
right,
a bunch of still pictures of her emoting to what you're doing.
Oh, by the way, Gur, you have an Easter egg in the video that I drop tomorrow. See if you can spot it.
Okay.
In fact, I'll give you a huge hint. Your Easter egg casts a fireball spell.
My Easter egg casts a fireball spell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll
leave you with that.
I will tune in tomorrow and find out.
9:15 a.m. Central.
Okay.
I have no idea what time that's going to be for me, but
well, Seraphis has the potential to already see it.
It's about 30 minutes from now.
Oh, is that the video of the?
Yeah. Oh, and actually, Seraphis has an Easter egg in that exact same one.
I gotta go back and watch it now, rewatch it now, because I say watch it. I've already watched it. It was just very loud at the time, and I didn't catch everything. Children.
Yep, get it. The perfect little D&D monster.
Just wait till there's 6 of them running around.
No.
He's a bad man. He's a very bad man.
I regret nothing.
No shit, you don't. All right. Well, on that note, I'm pretty sure we'll be back next week, unless I forgot something that's happening on Sunday, which I don't think I am, but yeah. And these people will be here unless they're not. I don't control them.
I should be, but next week I will have I will probably have to set an alarm to wake up for this.
I'm not. I'm seeing family.
We'll see what happens on my side.
Surface,
no, no,
you may have to carry this show all by your lone self. Just be ready.
That's okay. I've got a lot of stuff to talk about the recent Cypher Kickstarter, so
Right.
I could go on for hours on that. So
Sounds good.
No, but like for me, like the funny thing is, like it's just, like this is my last week of the regular overtime that I've been doing. Because they finally hired a new guy.
And it wasn't me.
It was not Brian, no. But so I won't just be awake. So that's why I'm saying it's like, oh, I actually have to set an alarm and make myself get out of bed. Anyways, it'll be interesting. But yes, we'll be back next week
yes,
with whoever.
come rain or shine.
Yeah.
It is raining.
Oh,
No, it's all sunshine.
ah! Bright light.
Hi.
Bright light.
All right. On that note,
Purge a heretic, kill the mutant, and have an armor of contempt.
And see your enemies driven before you.
oh gee, I can't beat any of that fucking shit.